With Season 2 of Jurassic World Chaos Theory releasing in just 2.5 months' time, this gives us much more information than what you initially thought. Enough to tell us when Season 3 of the show might be. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Jurassic World Chaos Theory video. Today we're going to be discussing Season 3 of the show. Yes, I know, I can already see your fingers scroll into the comments now to type, "But Swerve, Season 2 hasn't even released yet." Thanks Captain Obvious. But just because Season 2 hasn't released just yet, doesn't mean I am legally obliged to not peer into the future a little bit, just to take a look at what might happen, am I? Well, that's exactly what we're doing here today. We're going to be taking a look at a possible release date for Season 3 of Chaos Theory. Now, you must be wondering how I'm going to be doing that. So, in order to get that answer for you, I advise you stick around until the very end of the video so that everything makes a lot of sense. Sometimes, I see people asking questions that are actually answered in the video, so hold off from asking those questions until you've seen every minute, and then you'll probably have your answer by then. We're still aiming for 250,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so if you're wanting one place for all of your Jurassic World news and content to go to, then this is the best place to be on YouTube, as we cover the animated series, the live action movies, video games, and much more coming from the franchise. So if you're a Jurassic fan, why wouldn't you want to be here? If you're excited for Season 2 of the show, make sure you like this video as we target 2,000 likes. But for now, once you're sat back, relaxed and enjoying your G Fuel after using code SWERVE for 20% off, it's time to find out when the possible release date for Chaos Theory Season 3 might be. So very recently we got the confirmed release date for Season 2 of Chaos Theory, which is actually October 17th. Now unfortunately, however, October 17th is a long way away and is much further than what we initially anticipated. Using previous sources and information and pattern, we were able to kind of work out that the earliest date for Season 2 would be September 6th, and the latest date would be towards the end of September as well. But, we did have confirmation that it would release in fall, so we did obviously have our suspicions that maybe October would also be there as well, and unfortunately, October came true. But with this information of October coming true, it actually gave us something quite new and refreshing to look at that helps us try and work out when to see future seasons of Chaos Theory. With the release date of Season 2 confirmed, this gives us an insight. How does this give us an insight? Well, let's think back to Camp Cretaceous. Initially we had Season 1 and we had nothing else to go off. We didn't know when Season 2 would come, we didn't know when Season 3 or if it would happen, but as time went on and after we got confirmation of when Season 2 might be, we were then able to graciously work out very accurately when Season 3 might be of Camp Cretaceous, and that's because they pretty much followed a 3-month pattern. Now of course Season 4 and 5 definitely went out of pattern, both for the story and the release dates, but it's safe to say that the initial concept of Camp Cretaceous was at least 3 seasons long, and that's why they had a kind of consistency about them releasing every 3 months in between each other. So it's safe to assume that the same thing is happening with Chaos Theory here. I would highly doubt that they went into this show thinking that they're only going to create 1 or 2 seasons. It's most likely that they set a minimum of 3, and if it does very well, then potentially another 4th and maybe even a 5th. So using that idea, using that logic, it seems plausible to assume that Chaos Theory has maybe at least 3 seasons to it, especially when you see how the story might be panning out. So taking that logic from Camp Cretaceous and bringing it over into Chaos Theory, we have roughly 5 months between Season 1 and Season 2 of Chaos Theory. A 5-month window, which is just a little bit longer than a 3-month window from Camp Cretaceous. So we'll have to use this information to understand when Season 3 will be releasing. Now, if there's a Season 3 going to happen, there's no confirmation on that. It's very hard to work out. We knew a Season 2 was going to happen because they were saying seasons in the plural, so we knew at least 2 seasons of Chaos Theory was happening. As it comes to a third, it's very hard to try and work that out, to be honest. But either way, it would be quite interesting, and I'm like 60 to 70% sure that a Season 3 should happen. So if you were to ask me if Season 3 is going to happen, I would say yes, just because it seems logical. So now we can start to work out when Season 3 is going to happen. So as we know, it's just under 5 months between the release dates of Season 1 of Chaos Theory and Season 2 of Chaos Theory. And with that release date helping us understand the 5-month period, we can use that to try and work out when Season 3 is going to be releasing. And unfortunately, this brings us into 2025. If we were to go 5 months into the future from October 17th, it brings us to February of 2025. Now, as we know, most of the seasons, maybe Season 5 of Camp Cretaceous and Season 2 of Chaos Theory released on Thursdays might be an anomaly, but most of the seasons tend to release on a Friday, so I think it is still safe to assume that Friday is probably the best bet of when we'll get a proper release date for Season 3. So if we go to the Fridays that we have in February, we have the 7th, the 14th, the 21st, and the 28th. So, using this logic once again that every single season releases on a Friday, I believe that we are currently looking at Season 3's release date. Now, the most likely ones, if we were to kind of justify it being closest to a whole 5 months from October 17th, we have the 14th and the 21st. Which means that we'll likely get our first teaser trailer for this show in December, and then we'll get a full trailer in January. That's depending if they are going to follow the Camp Cretaceous pattern, which again, it seems like it's a different pattern for Chaos Theory, so do take it with a pinch of salt because loads of different things can happen. So I do believe that on one of the Fridays within the month of February of 2025, we will have the release of Chaos Theory Season 3. But it does make me speculate and wonder, if we were to get a Season 4 following that pattern, where would that leave us? Well, that would coincidentally fall within the month of July. What else is happening in July of 2025? We have the release of Jurassic World Rebirth, the 7th Jurassic movie of the franchise. Now, obviously, it seems a little bit impractical to release your show so close to the movie, but at the same time, you must remember Camp Cretaceous Season 5 came out, I think at the start of July or mid-July, practically just a month after we got Jurassic World Dominion back in 2022. And as we know, Season 5 actually tied into Jurassic World Dominion, not a lot, very minutely, but they could be doing something similar here with Season 4 of Chaos Theory, which would actually intrigue me quite a lot. Because I mean, sure, Chaos Theory takes place in 2022, the next Jurassic movie takes place in 2025, so there are some years between it. But we must remember, Camp Cretaceous Season 5 takes place in June of 2016, and Jurassic World Dominion takes place in... it's been retconned since Chaos Theory, so I'm not going to get involved with that timeline, but we know it takes place in the later stage of 2022. So therefore, that's a larger time difference than to what we currently have with Chaos Theory and Jurassic World Rebirth. So it just makes me very intrigued to see if a Season 4 of Chaos Theory is going to happen, and whether or not they'll do what they did with Season 5 of Camp Cretaceous, and release it very close to the movie. I'm very interested to see how that's going to go down. So there we have it. The most likely date for Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 3 would be February of 2025. Again, this is purely based on the potential pattern emerging from Chaos Theory Seasons 1 to 2. Their release is all we have had so far, so do keep in mind that they could do something completely different and release it at an earlier date, or maybe even a later time as well. After all, they followed a 3-month pattern until Season 4 and 5, which also had both different individual patterns themselves for Camp Cretaceous. But the 100% thing that you can take away from this video is that Season 3 is coming in 2025. If you enjoyed today's video, then please go ahead and press that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. And of course, if you're getting ready for Season 2 of Chaos Theory, you know where to be every single day. But most importantly, make sure you're staying safe out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. Hello, hi, you. Did you enjoy the video? Just a little reminder to press that like button and also subscribe. I just want to thank my Patreons for this month on screen right here, as giving me that little extra support really does go a long way. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day.